Hey everybody, Kaysha here, and today I am here with my friend
Jennifer Guskin.
and we need your help. We are right now working on advocacy for combating human trafficking, and here's why. So we'll give you a little bit of background of our story, why we're doing.
I was adopted as an infant by a couple who sold me throughout my childhood. I have been to Epstein Island and on multiple Lolita Express types of flights as a child. After I went public, Child Protective Services opened a substance exposed newborn case, even though all tests came back negative, and they told me that if I wouldn't stop posting on social media, I would never see my daughter again. I started to connect how I was adopted as an infant and then sold throughout my childhood, how many other children who have been through the adoption, foster, and CPS pipelines have also been trafficked to Epstein's Elk.
And as many of you guys know already, based on the work that we do at the CARES Project, I'm an American Indian born in Canada under the Jay Treaty. My father and I were exposed in the improper contagion mitigations for the COVID pandemic in early 2020. As a result of this, I lost everything: house, cars, corporate assets, jobs. Bank accounts were shut down in Canada, and I fled to the US as an American Indian, fully documented, and was trafficked by rogue agents in ICE and other agents in the government, and forced to live with single American men. I was even imprisoned for 7 months initially, and then trafficked throughout the states. Put on full surveillance tracking and wasn't allowed to leave the city, house, or state without permission or work without permission. And that happened for many years, and I was on and off the streets because of that, and in and out of shelters. And that is just a small example of what many go through in this trafficking system, be it the family courts or otherwise. So that's why the CARES Project will be going to DC to speak with representatives and do live reporting. We're also going to be in contact with other families who are dealing with human trafficking, and through the CPS courts or through any other means, lesser versions of trafficking, and doing reporting on them live and otherwise. We will also be working on we we ultimately want to shine light on what's going on with the trafficking here in the U.S. And we also want to meet with various agencies in DC, and we'll be going back and forth for training sessions and other things so that we can be better equipped to help people deal with resolving some of the issues that we're seeing. We will also be putting forth petitions in government to help people get justice, and that's something that we have been working on already so far. We have some petitions that have recently been filed in the state of Colorado, Michigan, Texas, and Arizona, and we will be continuing.
But we can't do this on our own. We will be traveling to events and training courses, as well as DC on a consistent basis. We also have to get acceptable equipment, such as computers, cameras, interview gear, etc. There will be other miscellaneous costs that would also be like gas, food, and rooms if necessary.
So that is why we are working towards combating human trafficking, and that is exactly why we need your help. We cannot do this alone, and most what the CARES Project does is on its own dime. And so we do love and appreciate each and every one of you that support us and all the work that we do. As many of you know, we also live stream on Lindell TV every day. And everything we do, like I said, is on our own dime. So we appreciate all the love and support and all the people who do donate. And we would very much love and appreciate that still. Thank you, everybody, for your time and considerations. And thank you for all the support. And we will catch you guys in the next one. And hopefully, we might see you guys in the future and come across you and maybe be able to do some great things together.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CARES Project podcast. Today, we are talking about monogamy and how it is under fire. I actually went and looked up some stuff on TikTok, and most of it was going against monogamy, which is kind of really absurd. Yeah, I know you've been talking a little bit about the dating stuff and on your timeline on X you want to weigh in before we start getting into some clips?
About the what?
The monogamy and the stuff like that. You've been talking about that on your timeline. It's like you want to say something before we start getting into stuff.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm irritated. Most people are retarded. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of I don't know, man. The level of degeneracy that comes out of like the certain life choices that people make, and then they complain about the outcomes is crazy to me because like what did you expect? And there's a reason why God gave monogamy, and people try to use, oh well, Abraham this. Okay, well God told Abraham, you listen to your wife to bring the side hoe. Now listen to her to get rid of her. And he had to send that woman away and the son and disown the son that he had with that woman. And God said that the son that he was promised that would have all those many nations would be from his wife Sarah. And then they try to use David as the example. Oh, well, David did this, all the concubines. And David also said out of um his own declaration that his own whoredom caused his daughter to get raped by her half brother. Like, do people not read? Like, I just can't stand that people always try to use any excuse. They want to use the Bible and any excuse to try and fit their lifestyle. You don't take the Bible and the law of God and try to fit it to you. You go to Christ because you want to change and become a new creature in Christ. And everyone is just trying to have everything fit themselves, find a religion that fits them. Don't just worship the damn devil with your chest. Shut up. Like, stop trying to be out here like, oh, I'm a Christian, I worship the Lord. No, you're a damn pagan and you're a heathen. Just accept it. Say it with your chest and stop being a damn coward and stop hiding behind Christianity or another religion so that you can be a whore. Anyways, let's get into clips. I'm so irritated. I can't stand people, man.
We're
Because if I was gonna be a hoe, I would do it with my chest. Like, people out here afraid to be themselves. Be yourself. Be yourself. I don't know. I don't know, man. Not for me. Not for me. People aren't afraid of a disease anymore. People aren't afraid of consequences.
no,
Oh man.
because they're taught to live in a world without consequences. So we're gonna listen to
Idiots.
this woman on. We'll just get to it.
Monogamy used to be one person for life. That was the definition of the word. At this moment, monogamy is one person at a time. And people very comfortably tell you, I am monogamous in all my relationships. So all these concepts that we think about have always been in flux. Actually, they have never been static. They've always evolved. They evolve across cultures, they evolve across religions, they evolve with the rise or the decline of egalitarianism, they evolve with the changing definitions of gender. They're not static. And we are in the midst of an overhaul around that. So desire has become the organizing principle of modern relationships in the West.
There's a couple of things that you said that you'll hear this hope over and over again. Evolving, evolving,
Yeah,
evolving.
I can't stand that. I can't stand that. God says I am the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Only females' emotions change like the wind, like this. This kind of new age nonsense, spiritualism nonsense, is straight feminine because God is not going to be like, oh, well, new information came along and I decided. That's females who do that. Men calculate from beginning to end. Like, God is not, like, he's not going to change his rules for you.
But
He cannot change his rules for you.
one other thing I just wanted to mention quickly is that she also mentions that desire is what's leading relationship changing.
Yeah, lust. Lust. People are so damn addicted to sex. They're so addicted to like they cannot control themselves. The sexual addiction in today's society makes me want to vomit. Because how in God's name, men will say everything like, oh, like, I don't want to be with this woman because she has this body count and blah, 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 and she has this past or whatever. She could be a great person. She could be a great, like, she could be refined. She could be like Rahab refined. I don't know. I don't care. She could be refined. And men will be like, no, 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 I don't want to. But they're out here sleeping with a new girl every week or every couple of days sleeping with a new girl. They don't know her character. They're just like, oh, this girl is hot. I want to get some butt or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they say these days, but they're just going and sleeping with these girls. Then next, you know, this girl comes and does some kind of evil wickedness against you. You don't even know what the hell obia you brought in your house, bro. And then you're going to be complaining. For what? Cry about it. Build a bridge, get over it. It's your fault. Like, what is really wrong with people? Oh, you want to find the best character so that you can be married to them, but you'll sleep with any dirty dog on the street? Like, be so for real right now.
There,
Be so for real. These people cannot think logically from beginning to end or use critical thinking because they're obsessed with what's in their pants. Like, they
it's
cannot control themselves.
it's because
It's
you're
disgusting.
it's because you're taught a certain way. Like they keep saying biology,
You don't know.
biology, right? And this is what you end up when you start doing these
Okay,
things.
biology and minor attracted persons is biology by their own
That's
standards.
exactly it. You there's
That's what it goes to.
where's the limit? Because it takes away
Yeah, there's no limit.
accountability for human beings for their actions. Because I
Yeah,
like to do it, then it's okay.
yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
no, there's got to be limits. There has to be limits because you can see where this
Not with
goes.
these people. It's so self-indulgent. It is so inherently demonic. Serving your own self and your own desires consistently is literally demonic.
There,
People have they have no self-control. They cannot control their
that's
appetite for anything.
that's the whole thing. Like I said, just
Straight
because you
gluttony.
can doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should. Exactly.
Let's look at the next clip that talks about monogamy not being it isn't the moral high ground.
Gonna hold your hand when I say this. Monogamy isn't a moral high ground, it's a relationship style, and that's it. It's nothing bigger or better than that. It's just a relationship style. There's this idea that being monogamous automatically means that like you're faithful and you're committed and you're doing it right, or that like you're somehow better than somebody who's not in a monogamous relationship. We all know that monogamous relationships can be full of secrets, betrayal, and a lot of unmet needs. What matters isn't how many partners you have. It's whether you're honest, whether you're communicating, and whether you're respectful of those partners or your one partner. Monogamy works great for some people, just like consensual non-monogamy also works great for others. Morality is not about a relationship structure. It's about how you show up in that relationship. There are plenty of people in monogamous relationships who are showing up poorly for their partner. Does that make them any better because they're in a monogamous relationship? No. Morality is subjective. Let's stop using relationship labels as like some kind of a moral measuring stick or something. Integrity lives in how you love and how you show up for your partner, not in how many people you love or if you can only love one person.
I'm just gonna sit down and say this, and like I don't know this girl, or anything like that, but I could tell you right now, morality is not subjective. If it's subjective, then if you want to do filth to a kid, well, that's my morality. That's okay.
Well,
Or I want to rob you,
standard, if it's consensual, then it's fine.
but a child can't consent,
Well, they'll
right?
say that they can.
That's
don't
what
care.
this is why they say this is where that term mature minor comes from. This is why they're using and pushing that because they want to push the idea that children can consent.
Honestly, this lady is retarded because you know what? There's no such thing as there's a reason why monogamy God puts monogamy. You have to die to self and to be with somebody and be committed to them. The way God uses the example of marriage as his relation to us relation to him. There's a reason why you're supposed to be with the opposite sex and just the one. because you have to go outside of yourself to be with that person and intentionally love and respect and serve them. It is not in a man's natural nature to just want to, control his desires or whatever. That's what they always say. And people act like it's not in women's nature to cheat. It is in women's nature to cheat. They cheat so much. They cheat and they get away with it too. They're emotional cheaters, they're mental cheaters, they're physical cheaters. They'll do everything in between if they can. They do not care. That's not an excuse. And then saying that because you have these desires, that means you should indulge in them. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. And just because there's the fear that, oh, well, this person might cheat on me, doesn't mean you should go around and sleep with the town and be like, let's just keep our relationship open. Because you know what? Women love doing that too. And they'll go, what are you gonna do? What I don't understand, what I really don't understand, and somebody please say it to me for like make it make sense to me like I'm 5. Because why in today's age are especially is nobody afraid of STDs? Like, why is nobody afraid of disease? That the people on the adult industry said by the 3rd roll that they done, they already had herpes simplex 1 and 2, which means they caught it in the first 2 scenes, probably even the first one. And y'all are going around sleeping with people, the whole town, don't even care. Talking about polyamorous, I want to live my free life. Live your free life and have the damn consequences too. Evolution will take your ass out because it's survival of the fittest, and you're too stupid.
It's not evolution. That's the natural selection.
Natural selection. Thank you. Like, honestly,
I mean,
take your ass out. Honestly, take yourselves out.
at the end of the day, what people are not being told is consequences. And they're trying to shield people from consequences to embolden their behavior. Because before there was widespread abortion, this nonsense would never fly. It would never, because that you got knocked up. Guess what? Now you have children. Now you have to deal with your responsibility. When they took that away, it changed the way things were because they're like, oh, I can just kill it, right? Now,
Yeah, women are out here saying like, "Oh, I don't know how women are with a man who doesn't like them. They're in an abortionable stage in their pregnancy and they're arguing with their man. Like, why you didn't keep it?" I'm like, first of all, y'all are the Grim Reaper and your wombs are a graveyard. Like what is wrong with you? Like this is next level. Like women are out here just like, "Oh, just off it." Women are straight like emotionless murderers in today's society.
yes, I mean,
Murderers, serial
conditioned to
killers.
do just in a bad way. Now,
This is why
listen,
they don't care about anything. This is
yes,
why they don't care.
listen, yes. Now, listen to this woman here. She's talking about how monogamy is used for control.
If you really think about it, actually, the idea of monogamy is, I definitely should not be talking about
No, this is so good.
We all know that rich princes and counts and barons, they had mistresses all over the place.
Yep.
Monogamy as an idea has never really existed. It's just been that the women were supposed to be monogamous. So actually, I do think that there is this whole thing about like this idea that you're supposed to have one partner forever is sort of a way to control women.
How does it come how does this come back to controlling women? How does this how does this come back to controlling women? Men are the ones that are primarily constantly saying, "Oh, this is controlling men." Y'all are weak. Y'all are weak. I can't. Your whole life can't be centered around sex. You can't be thinking 24/7. That has to be a form of trauma. That level of addiction needs to be studied. Open back up the asylums. Open back up the asylums. These people are a danger to themselves and society because you can't tell me that you think it's okay to go around just sleeping around the town. And you know what? These days, people are saying that you don't have to disclose if you have a disease. You don't have to disclose even if you're opposite gender, born opposite gender. And it's becoming very convincing. It's becoming very convincing. The things that are happening now, I don't understand. You cannot say that monogamy has always not existed. That is a godless, even in a godless society, they have always, it used to be illegal. It used to be a crime to commit adultery in most countries. What the hell are you talking about?
In some countries that were completely heathen, they did that. They would take a lot of the men, they would make them eunuchs, they would make them serve, and then the kings would take a bunch of wives. That was That's where the
Queen's done that. Queen Charlotte did that. Queen
that's
Elizabeth done that.
but that ends up creating a lot of problems as well for the ones who didn't, because then you get people that would band together as pirates and they would go and maraud and they would just grab people and rape them and kill them in the smaller towns. And that's what and pe-
What I don't understand is people's inability to do it with their chest. If you want to be a whore, just be a whore. Just say that. Just say that. You know what? I'm wrong and strong. I'm going to go to hell in a Rolls Royce, not in a Fiat. I'm going to go in a Rolls Royce. I want this lifestyle. I can't control myself and I like it. I'm greedy. I'm greedy as hell. Just say that. Just say that. Be honest with yourself. Stop lying. This is my problem with the world. They want to act like what they're doing is not is that it's okay. They want to justify it so that other people around them will praise them for their bad behavior and
you,
encourage them in their
you,
bad behavior. Just
you,
do it with your chest, bro.
you know
What kind
what
of
my
weakness is
you know what my big issue with this was? I did 3 searches on monogamy, and most of what we're
all
seeing,
people?
this is what it came up instead of actual things about monogamy. It had people bashing it. So we're going to listen to another woman coming in here and talking about this polyamory. When I search for, like, I'm pulling stuff that came from a monogamy search, 3 of them on TikTok.
TikTok. of course.
Polyamory as a functional alternative to the obligatory monogamy and the traditional family model. Yes, please. It is the right path for some. In fact, I would argue, and I think many people would argue, that compulsory monogamy is really not right for most people. They just don't know it, because we often get married very young, the early stages of adulthood, right? In our 20s, early 30s. What else are we doing in that time of our lives? We are starting families. We are establishing our career. Our brains are technically still growing, and we are truly figuring out who we are as a person. Guess what? It's going to keep changing. It's going to change again in our 30s, in our 40s, in our 50s, and beyond. Yes, a lot of people will kind of establish who they are in that middle age area. But that doesn't mean that our goals and our wants, desires, and dreams are always going to stay the same. In fact, most likely they're going to change. And guess what? The person that you are married to, their goals and desires and needs and wants are often going to change as well. They are going to change as a person, as an adult. They're going to grow and evolve as well. And if you're not choosing and actively growing together and evolving together to stay on that same path, it usually leads to a lot of resentment, a lot of conflict, and oftentimes a lot of disillusionment surrounding the relationship in general. You have people like here living together, but not really liking each other anymore, because you get the sense that one person that you chose to spend life with is actually holding you back from the things that you want. Whereas in polyamory or any other non-traditional approach to relationship modeling or family modeling, it really allows for a lot more freedom. And when I say freedom, I'm not talking about a free pass to just go sleep with whoever you want. That's not what it's about. And if you still think of polyamory as that, you are sorely mistaken. And I hope you will stick around to be educated, because this freedom is really about having the opportunity to recognize where you find fulfillment in life, the people that provide that fulfillment in different ways and in different areas of your life, so that you can do the things that you want to do, have the things you want to have, take the course that you want to take, have all the people that you love you all along for the ride. It's a beautiful way to show love while giving your partner or partners the freedom to receive all the love that they are capable of receiving. And again, this is not just in a physical capacity. It goes so much further beyond that. This is intellectually, emotionally, platonically, in so many other facets of our lives, that we can really find peace with who we are and peace in the love that we have in our lives, feel confident and safe in those relationships that we have for partners that are going to continuously choose us, grow with us, support us. That is a level of safety and happiness so many people do not ever get to experience because they think that their monogamous marriage is the only way to go about life because that's all they've ever been told. And they feel stuck. And unfortunately, not enough people are willing to have the hard conversations to get unstuck or that have partners.
I can't listen to that anymore. I'm sorry. That was too much. That
Like
they
I can't
you
when she's saying the part at the end and she's like smiling and saying that's a level of safety and happy. I was
you
man,
you
I'm getting irritated.
you can't.
I could not.
They have to have
I
women.
can't.
She said intellectual stuff. I'm like, no, it's not. That's intellectual nonsense. Like
She
there's so much contradictions. This is where, I mean, this is what I have a problem with. Like, I don't care. People are free to choose what they want, but I can't make rational sense from what she said as logically how this can make sense because there are consequences to what you do. Everything that we do, we gain something and lose something. And we have to look at, does this benefit overall to me and the people around me? And how is it going to impact society? Because if I just think about myself and how this is going to work for me and how it's going to make me feel, I will do a lot of things that will damage everybody around me. Now, is it worthwhile for me to get what I want and destroy the society? Because if I need to get what I wanted and I push the top of the button, wipe out humanity, well, I might have got rid of something, but then there's nobody left. And guess what? I'm dead. And then the human race dies with me. Was it worth it? Like, I mean, you have to think about what we're doing. Like, I mean, if you're taught that you're like no different than an animal, what do animals do? They just animal will go and lick his crotch, and then go and move his bowels and go back and smell it. We'll go vomit and then go back and eat it.
yeah. Honestly, I don't I don't like what this woman said because it's self-indulgent. It's there's no discipline. This lack of boundary what the hell? This lack of boundaries is extremely dangerous and the lack of self-control. This is I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing because this makes me happy right now. A lot of these women are feel-good addicts. If you wonder why so many little boys are getting raped in school, this is why. I'm dead serious because women are out here doing whatever they feel like is going to bring them happiness with no restriction and no boundaries. If you start going down this line, eventually you're going to go to children. That's always what happens. I don't care. We're not seeing this many kids being like raped in school by women until like as of late. And what's increased? The sexual liberation in the mind of women and the feminism and all this nonsense. You cannot mentally remove boundaries and tell yourself, I'm going to do whatever I want and sleep with whoever I want, whenever I want, because that's going to make me happy. And traditional relationships is not the way to go. And think you're not going to end up in a really messed up place.
You have
to go deeper down.
You have to have boundaries. You have to have limits. There's got to be limits.
Yeah, they don't have any.
When
They
you
don't
just
have
sit
any.
when you sit down and you're like saying this kid, I mean, I oh gosh, I ended up seeing
You
a
can't be
guy.
an addict to your feelings.
No,
You
then
can't
I
be
s-
an addict.
no,
An
you
addict to your
can't because
feelings
they
and self-loathing.
talked about a guy in Canada. They had an article and I thought this was a joke, and then I looked at the article. I began to read it, and I wanted to vomit. My mind was violated. I couldn't even finish the whole thing because the man has a relationship with a horse, and then his girlfriend is fine with it, and then he's with men, women, horses, animals. Like, no. Like, where does it stop?
Yeah, man.
Right? Like the one girl that says it will, if you don't put brakes on it, it's gonna lead to animals and children.
Yeah, the ex porn star. Yeah, yeah. because it's true. You cannot, this is the problem, especially with women where they cannot compartmentalize. As soon as they start giving into, even women need to be disciplined in their emotions, because if they do not, they will be raging psychopaths. I am not kidding. We are watching it. We are watching women being raging murderers and raging rapists.
But then what are they going to do when they're
nurses?
when they're a single mother raising boys? What's going to happen to those boys?
They're going to destroy the hell out of them. What are you going to? Yeah, exactly. These single mothers are out here doing that behavior to the little boy, creating the rapists.
Why do you think when people are complaining about black people, why do you think that's an issue? You got a bunch of raging, extreme feminist, man-hating women that are just acting like animals, and that's how they raise their kids.
And obviously not every single mother is a bad person.
No, but I'm saying in those
good men
when you're seeing those kids that are acting like animals and so forth, what do you think it came from? Because this is the way they're being raised. Yeah. Right? Like, this is why you need to put the brakes, because they had this Marxist filth in the black community a lot longer than everyone else, and it's a bad experiment. Don't do it. Do not do it. Just let's take a short commercial break. Be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to announce the next generation of energy drinks, Rev 7. It has no sugar and no caffeine. Instead, Rev 7 uses Go BHB. Go BHB is one of the body's primary ketones, and it provides the most efficient and clean fuel that your body needs. It also helps you stay energized all day with no crashes. Not only that, it produces 3 times more brain energy than sugar, which helps boost your memory, focus, and mental sharpness. It also helps reduce stress and helps balance your mood. Rev 7 does all that while being the best tasting energy drink ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% today. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7. For a limited time, you get our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. I drink Rev 7 every day, and I absolutely love it, and so will you.
So for anybody who wants to have the MyPillow products, go to mypillow.com/care. So call 800-845-2942. Use the promo code CARES, or you can support with things in the ticker like the donor box or the Give Send Go if you want to support the fight against human trafficking. I mean, if you're watching on Rumble, BitChute, or Facebook, you'll see other links in the description, or you can go to all my links /the CARES Project. There's a lot of ways for people to support. All right. I mean, let's get rolled back in here. I mean, there's a lot of things that you're going to keep seeing coming up, but when you look at something like TikTok and you go to search for something, and this is what you're bringing up, and you're looking for something on a topic, but they're pushing things up for you to get things that actually go against it. And now we're going to bring in the psychology of this. And the woman's talking about the psychology of monogamish, right? So, well, let's hear what she has to say.
Because of this failure in human design, marriage can be restrictive in personal growth and even repressive in its demands of absolute monogamy. In any other realm, if we saw failure rates like we see in marriage, we would do something about it. When the markets tumble, we do something about it. We adjust interest rates. We enact austerity measures. We develop stimulus packages, right? If a car malfunctions in some way, we issue a recall so that we can repair it. And if a superbug is unresponsive to a current vaccination, we go back to the lab to develop a new formulation. When something doesn't work, when anything doesn't work, we innovate. So why do we accept the monogamous marriage in its current form despite its design flaws? Could our relationships not benefit from a stimulus package? A temporary recall, just overnight. Isn't it time we go back to the lab to dissect the issues, challenge the failing norm, and innovate. Now, some couples have already done this. They reject monogamy altogether. Swingers, for instance. I know a lot of them. Surprise, surprise, the sexologist says. They have sex with other people and it works for them. Polyamorous have emotional, intimate, loving, and sexual relationships with multiple partners and it works for them. And open relationships come in a huge range of forms that are custom designed by every couple, or threesome, or foursome, or moresome, however it comes. Now, I know many couples for whom open relationships have worked. Rosa and Dan, for instance, after 22 years of marriage, they said, something's got to give. Their words, not mine. So they decided to open their relationship up, and now they have lovers across North America, and they couldn't be happier. But like monogamy, open relationships only work for a very small number of people, an estimated 4 to 5, not 45, 4 to 5% have tried it with a good degree of success. The problem with open relationships is that most of us just don't want one. We're okay with other people being open, but we don't want to share our partners. Happily ever after with one true soulmate has been too firmly ingrained in our subconsciousness since birth. So what we've determined so far is that over here we have the monogamous. Monogamy works for a small number of people. Over here, we have the non-monogamous, and that works for an even smaller percentage of people. And the rest of us, we fall somewhere in between. So what about the rest of us? Cheating isn't an option. I'm not even going to go there. So how do we find our happily ever after? Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, I submit to you that the solution is to consider the gray area of the monogamish. Now, this term has been around for some time. I remember hearing it as a kid when I shouldn't have been listening to my parents' friends back in the 80s, but it became popularized by sex columnist Dan Savage more recently. And Dan used this term to describe his relationship in which he is emotionally and practically and lovingly monogamous with his partner, but sexually, they're allowed to do other things. So to me, that's more of an open relationship. So what I suggest is that we fine-tune the term, the philosophy of monogamish, to make it more accessible to the rest of us who fall into this gray area.
You know
I
what? This is crazy because in relationships you're not always going to be happy. Sucks to suck. Get over it. Build a bridge. Cry. Get over it. Cry a river. Cry an ocean. I don't give a damn. My DMs are such a way where I could just scroll, pick one every day, and just do whatever I want. Do this monogamish, polyamorous nonsense that she's talking about. But that's not going to get me anywhere in life. I don't care. I don't care. The problem is today that people don't understand the difference in value. They look at something and they're like, oh, well, I don't feel good today, so I'm going to go and pick this thing because it's going to make me feel good right now. If you have a diamond, are you going to trade it for pebbles? Are you going to throw your pearls to the swine? That's what these retards are talking about right now, throwing your pearls to the swine. If you have something good, across the board, and you're not happy today because maybe you had a fight or maybe you had a disagreement or something didn't go your way, you're going to go with someone else and do things with them to feel good in the moment right now. Do you think relationships and life is about feeling good 24/7? Do you know who's constantly addicted with feeling good 24/7? Pedophiles, rapists, drug addicts. Like people who are addicted to things are constantly concerned with feeling good and being happy 24/7. They do not accept They cannot accept that life is difficult and you have to work hard for the things that are good. Nothing that comes easy is good, and nothing that is good comes easy. Like you cannot sit there and just be like, well, I don't like this today. I'm just gonna go emotionally cheat with all the other people. Is that person gonna give you half of what you get from your
But
spouse or the man that's courting you that
but
loves
when
you or
she's
cares
saying,
for you?
but when she's talking about monogamy, where did we get the concept of monogamy from? The Bible, right? One man,
Exactly.
one woman, and she said it's flawed.
Yeah, so God is flawed. This
Oh
is,
yes,
and of course they have a woman coming in saying this because people are more likely to listen to her and her soft tone and the
yes.
suggestive nature of a woman when she says these things. Oh, well, she's good intended. No, she's Delilah coming to serve you death on a platter and telling you straight to your face, I'm here to kill you. What next? Take your pants off. That's
Yes.
what this is.
And I don't know. This is a girl talk. Next one is a girl talking about the Aubrey Marcus thing about him saying some nonsense about he's got his wife and bringing somebody in on a podcast. But she just asked some questions, and you just listen.
Okay, I posted this over on our new page for couples. But I want to know here too, as a feminine alchemist, a relationship mentor, somebody that has fought like hell to create a sacred union and then teaching others to build true sacred union. What are your thoughts on the Aubrey Marcus polyamory, radical monogamy, ideology, propaganda stuff that's going on out there? How does it make you feel? Does it make you mad? Does it make you scared? Does it make you curious? I'd love to know. And truly, zero judgment about who you are as a person if you decide to live in that world. But we are all entitled to our own beliefs, right? About what real sacred union is. And it is, to me, not that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Wait, she said real sacred union is not monogamy to her?
No.
Right?
He called this thing radical monogamy, where he brought somebody.
She agrees with monogamy or not?
She does. She doesn't. She's like,
That's what I'm saying.
he's trying to change the word. He calls his adultery radical monogamy.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
the
that's
woman,
right.
and like how that woman said, we need to like make an umbrella for those who don't fall into monogamy to come in there and redefine. This is what they do. This is what they.
How is there even in between? Either you're with one person or you're a whore. Like there's
But
no in between. You're an adulterer. You're with one person or you're a whore.
This
Like that's really all that it is.
this is why they have to do away with God and the Bible, because
Yeah. And we have women doing it.
God is like, this is cut and dry. It's wrong or it's right. Like if you're sleeping with anybody that's not your spouse, you're committing sin, right? Like
Yeah.
but they're like, no, we can do whatever we want and we'll just figure it out. And it's like, well, if you follow this to its conclusion, if we don't have boundaries, like the girl said, bestiality and kids, that is where it will always end up if there is no boundaries. I mean,
always. Because you're gonna be like Bonnie Blue doing barely legal, waiting hours after the person turned 8, the same hour.
And how many of those are actually? Who knows if some of those are underage?
Exactly, having fake IDs. Who knows? Who knows? And I would never. I don't care if they just turned 18 like a minute ago or an hour or whatever. I don't care if it's legal. I'm never touching an 18-year-old. You look like a child to me. You are a child to me. There is nothing about you that is attractive. Women who do that are predatory. And they're just like that barely legal fantasy. It's disgusting. What she's doing is disgusting. I don't even care. This nonsense where people are like, oh, well, I feel this and I feel that. And I'm living my truth. And, this is how I want it. This is what makes me happy. No, you're not happy because you know what? Polygamous people are some of the most mentally ill people to walk the face of the planet. They have no discipline, no self-control. And they're not happy a lot of these people, the examples that we consistently see online of people who are doing this polygamy, if it was
Most,
worked so well, they're
like
sick in the head.
like she says, only 4 to 5% actually seem like it's working.
Yeah, because she said it works even less than monogamy, but we need to find the in between. But in between, there's no such
This
thing.
is
This is
where
why I'm saying people today, they want to sugarcoat everything. If I was, you know what? I commend Bonnie Blue in certain ways because she's like, you know what? This is just what I'm doing. This is just who I am. This is life. I love this. I can't wait to leave this scene in a wheelchair. She just comes out and says filth. She has more balls than most of the population because everyone else wants to convince them, other people, that they're on a moral high ground instead of saying, you know what, yeah, I'm doing this and it's not good, but I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. I'm the kind of person, I believe most people, I don't care about feelings. I don't care about feelings whatsoever. Don't come to me with, oh, how does this make you feel? I don't care. Tell me if it works or not. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to cheat, I think you should just be like, you know what, I cheated. I cheated on you, and just let the person decide. I decided, I made my decision, I wanted to, so I did. I cheated, and I did it this many times or whatever. I don't care. Or say, I'm going to cheat on you, or just leave. Why are people such cowards today? Why can't you just take responsibility for your actions and say what you've done? If you
So
want to be a hoe, just say you want to be a hoe.
we're going to listen to this man's perspective on after he tried a polyamorous relationship, and he was like, "Well, we'll let it roll."
Bro, I tried the polyamorous thing, like me dealing with 2 girls, me and 2 more girls staying in one spot together. It was good for my ego. It was good, to wake up like this here and be like, yeah, I'm that. You know what I'm saying? But it's bad with everything else, bro. She want to eat this. She want to eat that. She upset. She upset. I'm showing her more attention. She ain't getting enough attention. She going through her people. She going through her people. Hey, P. She want her hair did. She want her nails did. What? It's cool to, in my opinion, if you and your lady have some fun with another woman, leave it there, bro. But you trying to move in with both of them? Oh no. Oh no, P. I tried it. I can't do it. It lasted about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And we ended on good terms, but I was just like, it looked too much, bro. I could deal with the ego thing for me, like, both of them walk around clothesless and I'm in the crib looking like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, how I'm living. But when it came to the real, oh nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna take one woman and we gonna have a friend, another girl. Okay.
Not gonna lie, even in a situation, if a guy wanted me to be with him and he's sleeping with multiple women, I'm sleeping with someone else. I don't care. I'm cheating on you. I don't care. I tell you to your face, I'm sleeping with someone else. If I was a worldly person, like I've had that happen to me, and I just walked away because I'm like, I'm not going to degrade myself because you're a disgusting idiot. But in the world, if I was in the world and someone told me, you know what, I'm going to have multiple women, we're going to be polyamorous, I'd be like, go on. I don't know how you do what you do, player, but it looks good on you. And I would be out here sleeping the town like these idiots. And I would literally just go and cheat on him. I wouldn't care. Screw you. You're a treacherous piece of crap. And I'm just going to sit here and let you bring chaos and dissension to me with these stupid other hoes in my house, in my personal space, and have me dealing with their nonsense. Like he said, it might feel good for his ego, but the problems that come with it is going to be too much. Even if you're just
Exactly.
girl.
He was like, it wasn't worth it. He was like, because for a man to have 2 women trying to vie for his emotional attention. Look at what look at what Jake was doing. The 2 women were fighting over, well, give me a baby because she got kids and I didn't get any. He's like, what am I, God? Like,
my God,
right? Yeah. Like you're no, a man. Like, I mean,
God said he opens and closes the womb at will.
Well, exactly. But it's like, you look at the situation, like the guy was talking about it, that it's enough for one man to give a woman emotional attention, all that kind of stuff. For one woman, 2? No.
That's
Like,
a headache. I would never I would never be with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Well, no, it's too much. You're never going to give them anywhere near enough, and then they're going to use that to justify. Well, I can't get that from him, so I need to go
Yes,
to
I'm
get.
gonna step out.
Yes, and they
Exactly.
keep going to get a
Right.
little bit from here, a little bit from there, rather than learning how to grow with each other.
And most women are extremely emotional and self-serving because they have fatherless behavior or godless behavior or both. And so you get a woman, you try to bring this polyamorous stuff, and you get with a woman who's like, oh well, I don't feel good today and I just need to feel good. My life is about feeling good and being happy, and he doesn't make me happy right now because he's doing this. I'm gonna go and be treacherous. That is the mind of a woman. Men think that women are not meant to be polyamorous, they're meant to be monogamous, but women are meant, their desire is to their husband. God created them biologically to have to be territorial of the, like with their husband, and only be serving and like their direct focus to them. And as soon as that man's focus shifts away from them, they instantly start thinking about the ways that they can be treacherous, because they're like, this man is going to leave me in some capacity. Women are extremely
Y-
emotional that way. So it's like, why would you roll the dice? Why would you provoke something that is emotionally
y-
unstable multiple weeks of the month?
Just,
Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I just want to say something here before we wrap up here, because we're running up on time here, and we'll discuss more of this in another one. Um, when it comes to this when they're talking about what people want to do and how they're feeling and all this kind of stuff and their passion, this is what the Bible talks about carnal nature. I'm not talking about there's anything wrong with sex, but when you're having sex like a fat kid loving cake, that's a problem,
Crazy.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to eat the whole cake at once. Like, if you don't, you're gonna get fat. Like, so even if you like sex, if you spend all your time having sex, it's gonna have consequences in your life. And there are other things that you'll never attain, and other areas that you will not develop when that becomes your primary thing, because everything comes at a trade off. And our lower brain is where we get a lot of these urges and their passions. But the frontal lobes, you need to sit down and say, well, do I need to do that now? Are there other things that I need to accomplish? And everything else like that. Because, I mean, a lot of people sit down and say, well, yeah, we'd love to have sex all the time, but who's going to run the world? I mean, which it doesn't feel good. Of course it does. It's like, would you sit down and eat all day? You can't do that. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is that you feel good. You can't spend all your time doing it. Just it
Yeah. And if you're a person who wants to do that anyways, you're insatiable. You'll never be happy no matter how many people you sleep with, because it has nothing to do with the actual sex itself. It has to do with you internally. Like the connection between with yourself and God, and connection with you and that other person. That is a you problem, not the not enough women problem. It is a you problem. I can't even handle like I could not handle speaking to two men at the same time. That would drive me off the wall.
Anyway, let me close here with a prayer because we run up on time. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, grace, and mercy. We thank you for the hope that you have given us this day. Open our hearts and minds to your will, and help the men and the women to come together to rebuild our families, our churches, our community, our nation, and that we can have some protection for the children. That's my prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thanks, Dad, for the prayer as always. Some of y'all some filthy hoes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you're gonna go to hell, go in a Rolls Royce, man. Say it with your chest. Stop being a coward, or just give your life to God and start being disciplined. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, and it's abhorrent. It's disgusting behavior. Don't know what else to say about it. Just stop. Like, learn some self-control and some discipline. Like, I'm a female, and I don't even with as I said, with all the DMs that women get, like, even still, would never even consider like such disgusting behavior. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in tonight. We'll catch you guys in the next one. And yeah, have a good night. And to my dearest Karis, until we meet again, my friend, I will. Ciao.